Hello everyone, Fanty here. You're watching FANTAVISION, and today is another Tales from Retail. Today we are discussing coworker confessions because there were quite a few of them. Now, some of these are a little bit of a repeat because I've discussed, coworkers before and stuff like that, but there are definitely some things I was not thinking of when it came to confessions because, man, when I was talking about those customers, it started coming back to me, and I gotta do it. People in the comments said I gotta do it, so here we are. Let's do it. Today, real quick, I'm drinking the worst beer for green screen because it makes the whole thing look weird. Dogfish Head Sea Quench Ale, probably one of my favorite beers of all time. I drink it way too quickly. Yes. So, let's start with GameStop, because GameStop I spent the most time at. So I had a lot of different people rotating in and out, and I had a lot of people telling me things that I never thought I would hear. I had a seasonal guy telling me he liked to eat cake, which I didn't know the meaning of, and that means you like to eat ass. So he, for some reason, decided that he really needed to tell me this and go into detail about how much he enjoyed giving and receiving it on a constant basis with his girlfriend. Now, I didn't bring this topic up. I believe he put on some rap song and they talked about it. I didn't get it. And I was like, what? Why is he talking about eating cake? This is so strange. And he's like, you're going to be learning something today. So I did. I did learn that. And, not going to say my life benefited any by learning that, but there you go. I learned it. Another thing I learned about one of my coworkers was his drug habit and how he later confessed to me that he did in fact steal, and he had been stealing for a long time, from the cash registers, and what he had been doing in order to do that. He was canceling really old reservations to pocket the money. And not only was he pocketing the money, he was spending that money on Vicodin, Percocet, and other opiates. So he had a horrible drug problem for quite a while. I kind of ignored all of the signs. It happens to some people. I believe he had some surgery for something and he got hooked on it, and he was buying it off the street, and I guess it was very expensive. I'd never known anybody, and since then I still haven't known anybody with an opiate addiction. So it was crazy. Like, I felt bad for him, but at the same time, I'm like, you're stealing from people, not even GameStop, because he got caught when somebody came in and it was like, I wanted to cancel my reservation that I had on this. And I'm like, you already did that. And they're like, huh? No, I didn't. So we checked, the managers checked the camera, because I was not a manager at the time. And lo and behold, he was the one that was doing it. I don't believe he never got charged with anything, but if he didn't pay back how much money they estimated he stole, which I guess was way under what he actually stole, then he would have gone to jail, or they would have pressed charges, sued him. I don't exactly know what the legal ramifications would have been, but there you go. There was another coworker. I'm not going to get into the details of it because, I get into other people's personal stuff, and I don't name drop them or anything. I'm not slandering these people. But I don't want to get in the details of this just because of how dark it is. Basically, he was the only one left in his family. And that's about as far as I want to go with that, because holy shit. And I know you're like, Fanta, you can't just set it up like that and not tell us what happened. I can't do it because it's just so specific to him that I feel like people may be able to track him down because of this. And I really don't want people pestering him for something that he probably wants to move on from and forget happened. Though he'll never forget that it happened, because it is the most insane thing I've ever been told, and I've been told a lot. So he's doing well, by the way, if you're wondering. He's doing great in life. He doesn't work at GameStop anymore. He's moved on to bigger and better things, thank God. One of my managers told me about his cocaine addiction for a while. That was interesting. He told me that he spent, because during this time, let me give this a little bit of preface. During this time, I just found out that my girlfriend at the time had cheated on me, And I left work early and found out about all these different lies. And not only she had been cheating on me, she like made up a bunch of fake surgeries and a bunch of other, basically her entire life story that she had been telling me was a complete lie. It was a mess. It was a messy time in my life. And a lot of my coworkers at the time, another reason why I say GameStop wasn't the worst place I worked at was because the people I worked with were very supportive. They let me go home early that day to kind of sort my shit out. They were really supportive. When I came back to work, he like told me about, I understand when you're going through a difficult time. I get it. When my dad died, I locked myself in my room and did cocaine for like 3 days. Just nonstop, no sleep. And I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy. And he's not the only one that told me about a crazy drug problem. Another guy told me about how he did meth occasionally, like it wasn't a big deal. That was interesting. Okay. Kind of opposite of the customer confessions where the customer was like, never do it. It was awful. This guy was like, yeah, I enjoy it occasionally. I enjoy meth occasionally. Because I guess that's just a recreational drug you can do occasionally. Don't do meth, please. I had another manager that proudly told me about how he cheated on his wife and then divorced her and then was in the middle of dating somebody. It was just a whole mess. And the thing that really messed me up about this guy is the fact that he didn't seem apologetic about anything he had done. He seemed like he was kind of proud of the fact that he had cheated on his wife with a younger woman. Like, what is wrong with you? What kind of a sociopath are you? And I learned later on that he was quite the sociopath. He did a lot of other things that were really messed up and just seemed to laugh it off. And he talked about really weird shit sometimes. When you're working in retail, you meet up with a lot of people that have made very poor life decisions and for some reason just stuck with them, kept doing them, or never really took full responsibility or just were proud of it like that guy was. Now, I've mentioned this coworker a few times now, and that coworker is the one that was in a threesome, which the drug problem guy kind of got in on a little bit. So sort of a foursome at some point-ish. So basically, he was dating this one girl and another girl. But I guess the other girl was really dating him to get with his girlfriend. But that other girl that was trying to get with his girlfriend and was getting with him got with my coworker. So I guess, she's obviously bi. I don't quite know the whole situation. I just remember that it imploded in the end, and I was like, yeah, usually those things don't work out. That's why that's not usually the norm. It was really interesting just hearing his side, like a little bit of the story from the guy with the two girlfriends, and then hearing the rest of the details and the truth from this other guy. And it's so crazy. They were both coworkers at GameStop. This was all happening at GameStop. So crazy shit is going down in your local GameStop. This is what happens when people work together for a very long time in a very small space. Things happen, That's just what human beings do. That's why there's so much drama at these places, whether it's Walmart or GameStop. Walmart's a big store, but when you're working with the same people for so long, just drama starts to happen. I experienced it myself at GameStop when I decided to date a coworker. Not a great idea, by the way. I know Eric will say otherwise, but there you go. Speaking of Walmart, like I said, lots of drama with the same people that you work with every single day. So I had people telling me about how their girlfriend had cheated on them with another coworker and how he caught them. And then I'd hear a different side of the story from somebody else. And then there are rumors going around about Eric, which he's already talked about a long time ago. And I would have to dispel them. I was like, no, that's not actually what happened. And I had people just tell me about how they made drugs or how they made their drug and other drugs or how they did pills all the time. They offered me pills at work. I had people tell me about how another coworker who was pregnant, who was cheating on somebody else so the kid might not be theirs. I was like, oh my God. I had people confess to me about different things that they did at Walmart that they weren't supposed to be doing, taking extra breaks. In some cases, some people talk about stealing things. It's just insane. Absolutely insane. Coop confessed a lot of different things, but I've already said his name, so I can't tell you what he confessed. It wasn't really anything. He just talked about his youth and how he got high with girls and had sex with them all the time, and it was hilarious because he's an old man and he did it in that voice that I can't do. There was that guy that we talked about, the soul sucker guy, who told us about all of his different degrees and how long he's been going to school and how he couldn't get a job anywhere else. And then after Walmart, he was working at a gas station. I mean, this guy spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on schooling and worked at Walmart and a gas station. That's what he had to show for it. So, for the love of God, everyone, before you go to college, know what you're going to do. If you don't know what you're going to do and you're going to a 4-year university, you're doing it wrong. Go to a community college first if you don't know what you want to do. Because I made the mistake of going to a university not knowing what I wanted to do. I just got lucky and landed into a completely different field from my major. Now I'm just kind of going into advice mode here. But anyway, I had another coworker confess to me that he had cheated on his wife. And okay, so let me back this up. He cheated on his wife with his ex, with whom he'd already had a kid with, I believe, and the girl that he cheated on his wife with was pregnant, or became pregnant after the cheating thing happened, and that's how he got caught, because she's having another kid, and it's his, and that led to a divorce. There you go. So, I don't know what else could top that one. A lot of unfaithful people at Walmart. A lot of unfaithful people out there in general, it feels like, which is kind of sad. So those are the different confessions I had working in the general populace at retail. I can't really think of anything juicy that I've had been confessed to me while working in an office. It seems like people that work in an office kind of have their shit together a lot more than people working in retail. And I know that's kind of obvious, I guess, but those are some of the craziest things I could remember off the top of my head. If there's anything else, I'll say it in a podcast, or I'll just throw it in a different Tales from Retail video. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. If you're not already subscribed, please do. And, as always, have a fantastic day. See you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this week's Tales from Retail. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have any more ideas for more episodes, because I keep running out, you know? I mean, I've been doing this for like 2 years now almost, nonstop, every Tuesday. Tales from Retail Tuesday. And either I've done a Tales from Retail or I did some other retail related video. I kind of cheesed some of those weeks, but I've posted every single Tuesday for like 2 years. And that's insane. I'm gonna keep it going. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing Tales from Retail every Tuesday, or if I've already got other stuff to mix it up. I've got the reviews, I've got the people of Walmart. I'm sure we'll come up with something else, but I do want to keep that consistent posting schedule for you guys, because whenever I'm watching other channels and they like don't post something for a while, I'm like, what the hell? So I want to stay as consistent as I can so you guys can just keep looking forward to it. Every other Friday podcast, every Tuesday something to do with retail, and throughout the week random video game news and stuff like that. But like I said, more edited stuff coming down the horizon, more stuff that kind of like Tales from Retail, and the podcast is stuff that really isn't time sensitive, stuff that people can watch repeatedly. I'm really hoping to make something like that people will enjoy.